I've been a really bad dog dad. I've been sewing for longer than he's been alive, and I've never sewn him anything. Today that's going to change, so let's make him a hoodie. Now, like I said, I'd never sewn for a dog before, so I had to find a pattern, and I came across this one on Etsy, and it seemed pretty simple, so I got that printed out. 90% of the time I print my patterns at home, so they come out on A4 sheets. Now, getting one of these light tablets really speeds up that tedious process of lining the patterns up. Once the pattern's taped together, I then lie some craft paper down and use this nifty little tool called the tracing wheel to trace out the size that I want, so that I don't have to cut the pattern piece out and print it out again if I want to make it in a different size. The tracing wheel is super handy. Basically, it punches a hole through the pattern into the craft paper underneath, and you just have to trace round it with a pen and write all your information on and get that cut out. Now that all that boring pattern cutting's out of the way, I can move on to the actual exciting stuff of cutting out the fabric. So I wanted to use something a bit stretchy, so I had this grey scuba material that I had from a project previously that was just lying around, so I decided to use that. Pattern cut, I then jumped onto Thready Mercury, my tabletop machine, and hit it with a zigzag stitch. Once that was done, I then moved on to Thread Flintstone, my surgeon machine, and got all those inside edges nice and crisp. With all the inside edges nice and tidy, I then had to move on to making the hood. I sewed the hood panels together and then used these nifty little clips to get it held in place onto the main body of the garment. Jumped back onto Thready Mercury to hit it with a zigzag stitch and make sure that it was all lined up perfectly. With the hood now attached, it was just the waistband and the cuffs to add on. With that done, the last thing to do was to show the dog his new present. I would love to say that he was genuinely excited for it, but I think he was just liking the attention. What I see as a final fit check, Chase sees as cuddles. But look how handsome he is. Obviously he was super excited and must go out and show the neighbours his new present. With the weather being so cold recently, it was the ideal opportunity to give him a little coat. The hoodie was a little bit snug on him, so I think when I make it again, I'll probably make it in the size up. But all in all, I'm absolutely chuffed with how it turned out, and I think Chase loved it as well.